Howdy, 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 everybody, and welcome to the 2021 F3 Team Cup presented by Virtual Racing School. We are here at the new RedBull Ring here in the hills of Austria. I'm Austin. I'm joined by Marco Barbanera, and we are here live on Apex Racing TV.
Yes, Austin, welcome everyone. Hope you are enjoying your week 13, and of course, happy to bring you the F3 Team Cup presented by Virtual Racing School. Here from, as you were saying, the newly released RedBull Ring. And let me tell you, we have a cracker of a race in store for you. With the team format, we have some, returning names from iGPFun and some extra names we have, including some real-life drivers. They will be challenged by this new racetrack that I have to say I love it, because Austin, it provides for some great racing with any kind of car you basically drive around here. You can have a great race, from the smaller formulas to endurance racing with the European Le Mans Series, even F1 lately with the modern cars a bit tough to pass, but still they put on a great show. And of course this season they will once again have two races here, not just one. They will race back to back in just a few weeks' time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always fun to come to the RedBull Ring. It's finally here on iRacing, and let me tell you, I've done races here on the full layout, the short layout, the national layout, from Formula V all the way to the IRO 1. Every time I go around this track, it just brings me the biggest smile, especially when you nail that perfect lap. And you're going to be seeing some amazing laps here. And the new iRacing off-track model, which we can finally agree is all four wheels off the track and not have these arguments on is that an off-track like the FIA does half the time.
Yeah, Austin, I was doing some practice laps when the track came out during the week. And then one of my friends, who was actually a former World Championship driver, Michele Costantini, told me, I mean, you can go even wider, but we are so, mentally trained with iRacing track limits, that I was being super conservative. And then I kept pushing, especially here in the last corner where we see Adrian Falcon. I kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and then, I mean, the track limits are very, 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 very realistic. You can take your liberties, and it's all beautifully explained by iRacing in a little bit of a section that you get when you launch the sim and you race in one of these racetracks, So far only here and Spa have this new format, but I think it will be, especially for the Grade 1 racetracks, Austin, I'm thinking about, of course, your stomping grounds of Circuit of the Americas. It's going to be implemented very, very soon.
It certainly is, and Coda, big news there, might be hosting a doubleheader this year. That or Indy might make a return to that Formula Racing series that everyone seems to talk about, all that stuff. But yeah, a lot of interesting drivers. We mentioned a few real-life drivers. I feel like they're going to be using these new track limits to a much greater use, because in real life you kind of have to stay away from these curbs later on the race, or else it might throw away your suspension. We'll talk more about that. Kaylin Shin for DRS Wave Italy takes pole position right next to Adrian Falcone. We saw them driving it in practice and qualifying together. And this name might sound familiar. In third place, Felipe Drugovic in third, followed by Marco Zippoli, Sergio Sette Camera in fifth, Connor Wagner, Samuel Hermer, Flavio Dantes, Suelo Almeida in ninth, followed by Mark Anton Thiobot, Rafael Camara, Lucas Stazio in that Brazilian powerhouse in 13th. It's Alex Fournier, Clark Williams, Ivan Zeranu, Massimino Locatello, Will McIntyre, Maxime Paquette, Victor Bayola, Gavin Petty, Philip Lucas, Markel Viota, Zoltan Zomotor, and Dave Martin in 24th. In 25th, it's Carlos Torre, George Wiseman, Stuart Millen, Jacob Peterson, Adam Tasman, Andy Flint, Jay Bass, Patrick Rollins, Robert Ridgway, Alex Hopkins, and Martin Devine, with the newly unabducted Luca Verarni getting back with us in 36th place. I don't believe Luca is going to be taking the start as with Alex and Martin, but it's always great to see Luca back here. He was abducted by aliens, apparently. And,
Or he was filming the
I've been
new
there.
Pixar movie, now that I think about it.
It might be. He might be, so.
But basically, you can see the drivers, they all been assigned to a team, as you can see on the timing tower there. This is a team event in the sense that, yes, there is a winner of the race, but the main prize here is to win as a team. The top 2 drivers of each team will score the points for said team. And at the end of the day, Luca probably will tell us, because he will do the calculations, which team is the winning. We will keep you up to date as the race goes along.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one banger of the race here for us in the hills of Austria, and they are alive with the sound of revving engines, and it's green, green, green here at RedBull Ring for the iGPFun Formula 3 Teams Championship. Shannon, Falcone, and Drugovic take a early lead. We got a lot of carnage heading into turn 1. Everyone using that runoff to their advantage and keeping everything very sane around here. Cars are about 3 wide right now as they head up through turn 2. I'm not calling that turn 2 anymore. Into turn 2. Very late on the brakes goes Falcone. Here comes Drugovic on the switchback. Drugovic and Falcone having a little bit of drag race coming in to sector 2 at the very top of the track. More cars in the back just getting around. We got one car spinning right there. And there is Falcone on the inside. Drugovic around to the outside of that Univirtuoso liveried car. You can see the Univirtuoso livery, logo on his rear wing. I gotta love that car. And here goes Drugovic down the inside of Falcone, side by side. This is the beauty of RedBull Ring. You can race side by side for a long time here, but Drugovic up in a second.
And as you can see already, this thing that I probably think will be fixed in the upcoming hotfix. All the cars seem like they have had their paint chipped away from the nose. You will see it, for example, here, as you can see they are using all of the track there. And the first lap is in the books with Shin, Drugovic and Falcone, your top 3. But more importantly, looking very good for the RS Wave Italy with the driving in first and in third, and of course the nice insurance policy of Marco Zipoli in fifth. Sabia Racing 1 and 2, a bit of a mixed bag, and then there is the Delta Sport entry of Conor Wagner so far sitting in fourth.
Yeah, Sabia Racing 1 and 2. It is a very Brazilian-led field, I must say, with Drugovic leading that charge, but all the way 6th to 9th is just a Brazilian masterclass right now. Oh, a little bit of contact with Samuel Hermer right there in Adataza. We got cars around. That is Locatello. He's dropping down to 28th. As here is Sergio set to camera for Sabia Racing, I believe, 1 on his teammate. And most of the Sabia guys, all of them keeping a very similar livery, except for Felipe.
Oh, Fournier, the Canadian, is pointing in the wrong direction. Still manages to not hit the wall, so he's back on track for advanced sim racing esports, as another lap is about to go in the books with Kellen Sheen. You can see using the track limits there. His advantage. Felipe Drugovic in second and Adrian Falcone in third.
New fastest lap for Kalen Shin for DRS Wave Italy, 126.16. New fastest lap for Drugovic and Falcone right behind, and that is a 3/10 clear last lap, and Drugovic's got a battle on his hands, going up to the inside. Here comes Falcone. Falcone setting it up the inside, heading into turn 2. Drugovic on the switchback right now. We see him do this a lap 1. He's going to try to do it again. Defending all the way down to the inside goes Falcone. Drugovic on his rear wing and gearbox right now, going all the way to the inside of the track, waiting for that last possible move. They go back onto the outside. No move's going to be made right there, and this is allowing Conor Wagner, the American, to get back in there. One of only 4 Americans in the race right now.
Yeah, remember when we had the World Cup a few seasons ago with the 2 American teams, as we have a car in the gravel, which I
that's
think
Williams.
is Clark Williams. Yes, it was Clark Williams.
Yes. Let's get a replay right there. Looking at Clark Williams in that 30. He's got the 29 right behind him of Ivan Zerana. And well, it's just too much mustard going to that corner, getting onto the gravel, but not going very far off. Very easily to get back on there, but definitely hurting his momentum right there. As Falcon, no, fastest lap, 125.688.
You know, Austin, now that I think about it, I am absolutely shocked that we don't have a Polish team today. We have a very strong presence of Polish drivers in iGPFun, with Potocek, Pieniączek, but you know,
I feel like they wanted to give us a little bit of break with, especially me, with the pronunciation guidelines. And Wagner on Drugovic, trying to hold it around the outside, getting that rear end out just a little bit in the braking zone, trying to go on the switchback for Drugovic. Oh my goodness, almost makes contact right there. And Connor Wagner for Delta Sport, trying to stay with the Uni Virtuoso real-life driver, driving for Sabia Racing 1 here today. It's so awesome seeing these guys race here in real life and in sim. And Austria for Formula 2 is coming up very soon, so this might be very good practice for him, as Ivan Ziarnu and Markel Viota, I'm messing that name up, Markel, battle out for 14th. Going down the field for Formula Forza, Roger Ridgway is racing and leading. Fournier right behind him.
Formula Forza cars, despite this being a default iRacing livery, I mean, you have my complete approval. Absolutely amazing. More of this, please.
Yes, more of that ad, please. Just more of that sponsor. Not biased. We're not biased.
No, great colors, great sponsor. The promotion is back for season 3, by the way. You can find details on the iRacing homepage about running the Apex Racing TV logo on your cars in the paint booth and being entered into a prize competition at the end of the iRacing season. So check that. And side by side between Thibaut, between Bolea, I'm sorry, and Gabi, no, between Bolea and Lucas, of course, and it's Lucas who gets the better of him for the time being. There at the front, it is still, as you can see here, a 1-2 punch for DRS Wave Italy, which, you know, it goes without saying, they would bring home the championship should they finish first and second, of course.
Yeah, and DRS Wave Italy, their massive presence in the iGPFun regular championship that we have during the regular week, but in week 13, just them working together, they're sharing strategies and they're just sharing fast laps. Both of them setting new personal bests right there, with Falcon setting at 125.37 as Connor Wagner and Marco Zippoli are trailing each other in 4th and 5th. And Marco, that third driver for DRS Wave Italy, trying to get up there in 4th. He's looking down into the inside, big center Rooney heading into turn 2, and he's got it at the apex, but can he get it off the exit? A little bit of wiggle right there, but he did all he needed to do to hold off Connor Wagner from Delta Sport. DRS Wave Italy 1, 2, and 4, and up next for them it is Filipe Drugovic.
Yeah, Zipoli really, you know, of course, as we were saying, first and second gives you the title, but if you can get another driver in 3rd position, it's basically, you know, it's a massive insurance policy, Austin. Also, I think that Drugovic needs to look in his rear view mirror because Zipoli is coming, and you know, the quartet of Brazilian drivers, Dantas, Camaras, and Staiko, are still a bit far away, and they need you know, to close the gap if they want to challenge the DRS Wave Italy
I
drivers.
love how these guys are just attacking these corners right now, and it just makes it feel so much better than, oh, they got to keep it between the white lines now, but now you just go as far as reasonably allowable.
I mean, if they implement this at Kota, and I hope they will, and I think they will, they need to give us the IndyCar
Oh, no, Lucas getting onto the curb on the outside, comes back across the track in the middle of the track right now, and coming back around, stop the car!
Oh, big piña, it's Clark Williams involved, and I think another driver,
Talsma clipped him.
Talsma, yes, oh dear.
Oh, that is just the ones that you just don't want to see happen. Coming back onto the track right there, and he's trying to save the car from damage, but when he does this, gets back onto the throttle right into the racing line, you should just hold the brakes right there, and that is so unfortunate right there. Not only for him, but for all the other drivers involved, and very scary incident at turn 1, and we've seen this happen in real life too. Those curbs are just massive deadly. Here's the replay. Clark Williams, you can just see him. Oh, he's going to go left, and then he's already committed with the move. The car just inches forward, and it's a very, very unfortunate place to be. And big caution right there, and a big incident. One thing that iRacing has over everything else, the world's fastest marshal crew, so we don't get a safety car.
Oh yeah. So this takes out a couple of drivers. The first big incident we've had all day is lap 8 out of 33. We have 10 minutes on the clock. There's going to be a 1 hour limit, which I don't think we are getting to. Matter of fact, you know, pixels are very precious. So yeah, let's remove the maximum time limit.
Yes. This isn't SRX. We're not going to hit that.
So let's look at the gap there at the front, and of course, so I covered this event in the past, Austin. It comes a point where you think, you know, if you close the gap, is it worth battling, or do you think the two DRS cars can just, you know, work together? I think the second is the better option, of course, unless
it's always the second. They do have other teams still battling with them. They can't be like Corvette and just send both the cars out there and just battle each other willy-nilly. They are going to have to focus and, well, just race their own race and be together, be smart about it. If some driver's faster, let them by and not really race each other that hard because, you know, as a team, you want to win the championship, but also Falcon and Kalen Chin are leading Felipe Drugovich, which is something you really want on your resume.
Conor Wagner here, defending from Flavio Dantas. There's going to be a penalty for Team Lucas for that incident.
Unsafe rejoin.
Yeah, thank you to Cavarani for keeping us.
It's more of a air quote unsafe rejoin. Yeah. They get the idea, but that is close for the two teammates of Exodus Racing. Nose to tail right now, and almost a collision. We'll see if they're going to work together, or they're just going to have a little bit of fun with each other. And it looks like they're going to have a little bit of fun with each other.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking, you know, maybe if the driver behind you is quicker, you let him go, of course, being your teammate. But you would do that safely, and they were 1 centimeter from each other there a couple of corners ago. But they're going to
race each other, but they ain't going to race each other that hard as you would race just some random person you see online. So I totally respect that, two teammates racing each other, but doing it safely. And I got to be honest, I love this asymmetrical paint scheme they got going. This is how you do a split paint scheme.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the little trim details is very nice. You got the pink and the blue on one side, and
lovely color scheme, absolutely, as they go on the start-finish line once again. So this is the fight for 11th place. Back at the front, the gap is shrinking despite Chin getting the fastest lap of the race, but as you can see, we're now at 9/10 of a second. Someone would call it DRS range.
Yeah, I think Falcon might have got a off track last time. He might be exploring the track limits just a little bit in that final corner, but yeah, Chin leading out Falcon. Felipe Drugovich in second place. Bale on his teammate again. Same corner this time. Whoa, okay, yeah, they're just racing each other now. what a tasty move in turn 3, heading into turns 4 and 5. And I gotta be honest, this grandstand in any F1 weekend is just hopping right now through that section. Literally hopping. I've seen the Max Verstappen fans just go absolutely nuts there.
I have never been to the racetrack, but I've been on vacation many years ago in this part of Austria, and let me tell you, it is absolutely beautiful. It is all like this. It's all, you know, mountains and green and you know, forest. Beautiful part of Austria to visit, and the meat is amazing, Austin.
Well, I think when all this clears over, I'm heading over to Europe and Austria and Italy.
It's very close to Italy, this bit of Austria. So I mean, all of Austria is close to northern Italy. So
well, it's all closer than anywhere in Texas. So
exactly.
So I'll be packing my bags very soon. Be right on board of Connor Wagner, looking back at Flavio Dantes in the battle for 5th place. Delta Sport versus Sabia Racing 2, and Sabia Racing really closely knit together. They definitely were working together, getting ready for this event, because all of them so tightly packed and looking very ready at the same time, and all of them well, staying in the same spots where they started. The only one that moved down was Sergio Santacamera, getting held up at the start. I believe he went wide heading into turn 1, and we got a car around in the Formula Forza car. That's Jay Bast.
No, my favorite livery of the day, Jay Bast. He's unfortunately.
Ooh,
that was Ermer, I think, going past when
yeah, that was Ermer. It
went up
too much
wide.
busting around the brakes. Yeah. And Samuel Hermer, he's actually moving back up the field after his pit stop. So he did take a pit stop earlier, but yeah, he is moving back up the field, down 15 spots where he started. But this is going to be a recovery drive for Samuel right now, as we go 1/3 of the length here today.
Yes, lap 12 out of 33.
Behind the
we have a problem.
VRT. Oh no, that is the Advanced Sim Racing Esports car of Maxime Paquette in that 101. Just going wide in turn 2. Might have been a contact in the brakes. Is this a braking failure? Ooh, just snap steer right there. Almost gets collected.
He almost got a face full of mustard there. One of the metallic cars was right in front of him, as it's Felipe Drugovic who sets the fastest lap of the race this time around at 25.1. Slightly faster than Marco Zipoli right behind him, so they are trading quick times. Let's see the gap between Falcon and Drugovic, and as you can see, pretty much running the same lap times for the past 4 laps. Absolutely amazing consistency by both of these drivers.
Well, they are running their paint does kind of look like the Mercedes paints, and well, you know how Mercedes runs, just absolute perfection, and when they get up front, there's nothing you can really do to get them out of front, as the Exodus team looks a lot like Racing Point right now. I mean,
and they basically got Ivan Giranau back into the fight. You know, they keep on having an argument with each other, which I'm sure is amazing fun for them.
Oh
but
yeah,
of course
it's going to be a lot of fun. But I feel like they know that Ziarno is right behind them and closing in, so they might turn up the professionalism just a bit. But honestly, as a driver, you just want to keep doing this, because I can guarantee both these drivers have the massive grin on their face right now. But oh no! This is Patrick Rowlands off right now
for a bit of a excursion there, and gets passed by his teammate there, I think, Martin Devine.
Yep.
As Drugovic, once again, fastest lap of the race. Austin, I don't know how good your German is, but part of this advert here says Austrian tomatoes. So to me, this will always be the Austrian tomato corner from now on.
Yeah, I'm not good at German at all. Not one bit.
There is a word in the middle that I don't understand, but the first and the third word mean Austrian tomatoes. So, yeah.
Gäste Macvoste. Red.
Also, the next banner there, the corner that is also called Route sometimes by the name of the sponsor, is a popular, juice brand here in, especially in Central Europe. You can find them in Italy sometimes. Make your day a happy day. I would love to go for a, glass of pineapple juice as of this moment. In the meantime,
yeah.
Out of nowhere,
his teammate is on his tail right now. We're going to see if these two teammates going to be working together or working against each other. I feel like they might start working against each other very soon. They've been leading this race for 15 laps, and they need to watch the track limits because we aren't even halfway through the race yet, and some of these drivers already have over 10 incident points. So there's a automatic penalty, drive-through penalty at 20, and you do not want that. You see Falcon getting out of the draft, actually, heading into turn 2, going through turn 1.5 there.
Lovely 41 degrees on the track, 28 degrees on the air today, really the first summer day here in Italy, and it's unbearable, Austin, let me tell you. As we have 4 wide.
Oh my goodness! Ziarner sneaking his way through that massive pack of wolves right there. The Exodus cars splitting them, going down the inside, almost makes collision right there. Gavin Petty is, almost getting collision right there, holding it all the way out to the outside. But the Exodus Racing of Victor Bayola getting ahead of the PDR UK car. Gavin Petty looking down the inside. The Exodus car is going around the outside of him as they power their way through turn 3, and this is just awesome racing right now.
Absolutely fantastic racing, side by side, entering the long left-hander, which I think has just taken the title from the Ascari at Monza as the most slippery piece of tarmac in all of iRacing.
It's getting there. Falcon, new fastest lap, 1:24.874, but we got a good fight right now for 12th place as we go back to turn 1.5 underneath the Austrian Best Taste Tomatoes sign. Thank you, Luca, for that. And yeah, 2 teammates. I feel like they calmed down just a tad bit, but still being separated by half a second.
Luca is not convinced on the quality of the Austrian best tasting tomatoes. Now, to be fair, Italy is famous for their tomatoes. There are 100,000 variants, and pasta with tomato is. Oh no!
Oh no! That's Viola.
It's Markel finally, unfortunately, punished for his hubris. Kept on fighting, and this was one fight too much, I'm afraid.
I feel like he might have gotten a little bit too deep on the brakes and hooked that giant sausage curve. Oh, it was up on the inside. There's a bump on the apex of that corner, and if you just hook at the back end of your car, no matter what you're driving, it's going to go around.
And Austin, speaking of the extended track limits, and still now it's Martin versus Viota with Paquette following closely.
Oh, Viota is stuck on the outside right there.
Basically, the one place where you can't really afford to go wide, even though the sim allows you to, is that corner, because there is that yellow curb, which, especially with open wheelers, if you go a bit too wide, it will launch you in the stratosphere. Oh dear! Oh. That's Martin getting kicked out of the track.
Yeah, that is an off track right there, and I don't know if you'll get you won't get a slowdown for that, but he was doing that just to be safe. Turn 1 also has the same feature with that giant yellow sausage curve, but there's a little bit of gap, and so if you know that you're not going to make that corner, it's okay to go wide around that sausage curve. You're going to lose spots, but you're going to be leaving there with your front wing intact, or your rear wing, or your side pod, or just any part of your car. It doesn't have to be Formula a Formula car or not. But yeah, turn 1 and turn 2 here. Very dangerous to go a little bit wide there. We've seen it happen in real life, and if you hook that curb, oh man, you're going to be losing a lot of speed. As Martin sending it into turn 3, up the inside of Samuel Hermer, but Hermer is going to go on the switch back right now. The PDR UK driver and the no-nonsense racing driver going side by side heading into turn 4, and Dave Martin, ooh, almost a little contact right there. Hermer getting lost out right there, and that's Alex Fournier for Advanced Sim Racing Esports right behind him.
Halfway mark of the race just gone by, and it's still DRS Wave Italy with the title in their pockets. Closest rival is...
Alex.
Oh no, Samuel Hermer! Big hit!
One of the fastest parts of the circuit, and Fournier just cut across Hermer.
Hermer is in a very precarious position.
Yeah, he's getting off the track right now, heading into the pit lane again. This will be his second pit stop, and Dave Martin, well, he's carrying on, but Dave Martin heading through turns, well, there's only like 8 turns on this track. Turn 7 or 8 into this corner. Fournier sends it up the inside, heading to this beautiful move, but comes across the nose, and Dave's just checked up right there, and unfortunately, Hermer just so fast through there. You aren't expecting a car to slow up right there, and just unfortunate collision between those two. Not much they can do.
As I was saying, DRS Wave Italy so far with a title in the pocket. Their closest rival is Sabia Racing number 1 with Felipe Drugovic, but Felipe needs some help, and his closest teammate is actually down in 7th. You might know this guy also as well, Sergio Sette Camara from Formula E. But he's still behind Flavio Dantas, who's racing for the Sabia Racing number 2, teammate to Rafael Camara in 8th. He's lost a bit of contact, and also Lucas Staiko here is in 10th as well for the Sabia Racing team. And there's another Sabia Racing driver actually, Suelio Almeida, who's of course famous for his coaching efforts in open wheels in racing. Unfortunately, had to go to the pits on lap 1, involved in a lap 1 contact, so out of the picture. And that's why they have 3 cars per team, of course, in the top 2 score, because you can afford to have one car have some issues. But so far, Chin and Falcon have absolutely been untouchable there at the front.
Absolutely, and Chin and Falcon just running away with it right now. Marco Zipoli sitting in 4th, trying to catch up to Felipe Drugovic. And you know, you don't want to talk out Drugovic right now because he's getting closer and closer with each lap. 124.9 and 125.0 are top 2. Drugovic 125.2 in 3rd place. So he is getting affected by the draft just a little bit, but he's within 2 seconds of our leaders. If he puts his head down, he could really catch up there with 13 laps to go here at the RedBull Ring. Laps around here, 1 minute, 24 seconds, absolutely blazing fast. And in the IRO1, I gotta say, it's around Formula 1 times.
You know,
and
Austin,
it's closing in on 60 seconds.
You know, it's really interesting to see the similarity between these last 2 racetracks that iRacing gave us on the roadside, as Dantas almost knocks on the door of Wagner there, because both this and Hockenheim, despite having different characteristics as racetracks, they both have you know, this similarity of being not very, you know, easy to learn, hard to master, but more importantly, being easy to learn, you can race with everything around here, and it's very easy to pick it up as a racetrack, and it allows, just like Hockenheim, for quite a bit of side-by-side racing. You know, Hockenheim, you can basically go side-by-side all over the racetrack, and here it's almost the same. Also, I really like these 2 new additions that iRacing has made, and I think in the long term they will be more serviceable than, let's say, tracks that people want, like Monte Carlo or other, you know, street monstrosities, you know, that they race in F1. Nothing against Chicago. Chicago is amazing. Don't get me wrong. You know, St. Petersburg will be amazing. Which is amazing. Monte Carlo, despite the history, I don't know if it would be a track for anything above this. You know.
Yeah, and speaking of Formula 3, Bill, down the inside, heading into turn 1. And Dantas, one incident point away from getting a penalty as Sergio set the camera, jumps up on Dantas, heading into 6th place. As we're looking at this fight right now, and the two teammates swap positions right now. And I believe Dantas might have let his team know that he's one incident point away, so he's just going to be taking it very easy.
As Gavin Petty on the outside, there's Bolé on the inside.
And the incident points that we calculate on the SDK is completely different from iRacing SDK. Ours, we have a little bit different GPS trackers on them, and the iRacing SDK, iRacing is a little bit different. We're still on the old, track limits thing. We're waiting for Pascal to work his magic up there, but you know, let's just show the X's. You want to show the X's? Because I feel like this would be very interesting to look at.
I never use them, so I have no idea where. I mean, I know where to find them. There we go. But yeah, this is unofficial. This is GPS based, and doesn't take into account the collisions that, of course, are factored in by iRacing. Therefore, it's just, you know, a curiosity, something nice to look at, but nothing official. The only person that has the official standings as per the incident points is, of course, our leader Maximo, Luca Varani, in the race chat is keeping us up to date, and whatever he says basically is the law around here. And I have to tell you, you know, with Luca missing the last 3 or 4 rounds of the regular season, you know, I have to say that the drivers have behaved very, very nicely, but it's nice to have him back, you know, stamping his authority. Of course, Luca, absolutely nice person, and the spirit of iGPFun has always been, you know, the spirit of fun, you know, so to speak, and it's been the same. And this event is very interesting. I cannot wait for the World Cup to come back. I think hopefully next week 13, because some of those team liveries were amazing, and Austin has 2 teams to root for, because usually they have USA East and USA West. So
I have to be a USA West guy because I'm in Texas. Though I can be an East too, because I'm in the center. But yes, 2 USA teams, always nice to see. Not being biased there at all. But yeah, that World Cup was very fun to watch last season, and it's going to be fun again to see it come back. As, well, it was fun in the chat, it was fun watching, it was fun to, you know, banter a few of the other fans from other countries.
I especially love the Team Germany livery, which was inspired by the 1950s Mercedes F1 livery. Absolutely fantastic. I think there were a couple of liveries that were inspired by A1GP liveries, which always gets a massive thumbs up from me. And that was like, because last week 13 it was the off week 13. So I hope that we get it back in 3 months' time, basically. But back to the action, as Dantas leaving. I think Biota has had another big off. Such bad luck for the driver.
His race has gone downhill after his first incident, heading into... Oh, this is just too much mustard going to that corner. He might have something up with his brakes, because that was just an immediate spin.
Yeah, that piece of tarmac there, especially, I have to say, especially with the GT cars, and with the Formula V that has, of course, we have learned it being a pencil with wheels. I'm sure you have seen the beautiful collection of liveries.
I'm personally racing a cigar.
I'm racing with the Pickle Rick from Rick and Morty.
Of course you would.
But yeah, any car that doesn't have downforce basically is like driving on oil there. F3 has a bit of downforce, so the effort is mitigated, but still very slippery.
Yeah, very slippery and very tricky, especially even in MX-5s. Like, that corner is very hard to do, but with the downforce, you get a little bit more confident, just a little bit too overconfident if you go from a Formula V to a Formula 3 in there. Even a Skip Barber to there, you will have to apply the brakes in all the cars, except for an IRL1 Formula 3.5 and an IndyCar, which was fun to race around here.
Luca, by the way, confirming that next week 13 we will have World Cup, and then of course the traditional charity event in 2 week 13 time, of course the race for Vimala, which will be around Christmas time as we had last season. So yeah, cannot wait. Still a long way to go, but I already cannot wait. Especially the race for Vimala, so much fun and a very good cause. So I cannot wait for that to come back. And it's also around Christmas time, so we are all in a giving mood, as here comes the attack from Gavin Petty, getting the job done on Victor Bolea. But these two drivers, Austin, they have been switching positions, and now there is a massive Doc Brown moment, speaking of mad scientists and Rick and Morty. Disappears for a second, reappears, no harm, no foul.
Yeah, just surprising he's not driving a DeLorean right now. Or a train. I'm a big fan of the Back to the Future movies, so yeah, I'm happy with that.
You are a wonderful person.
I know. Got to fight for 5th place right now. That's Sergio sets the camera on the back of Connor Wagner. Sergio looking down to the inside, side by side, heading into turn 2. Big send from Sergio sets the camera, and he's up there for 5th place. What a move for the Sabia Racing 1 driver.
Oh, he is. Oh, nice switch
Still
back
under
there from
attack.
Wagner. Scared me, and now there's a lapped car there.
Camera went down to the inside to get some draft from the Metallica car, and he actually made it work right there. Connor Wagner had a lot of speed around the outside, but Sergio sent the camera, thinking on his feet, defending on the inside, able to defend from that move. Is back here Gavin Petty in a big fumble of cars right there. That's Ziarn, Biola, Petty, Millen, and Zomotor right now in this pack of 4. There's 2x2 right now. Zomotor and Stuart Millen were in that fight right now, ending into turn 3. Very tight between them, but it's going to be Stuart Millen around the outside right there.
And you see, Austin Zomotor, honorary Metallica driver today. Didn't notice that. So he's feeling the power of Mustard as well.
For those who are just joining us and didn't follow the iGPFun Formula 3 Championship, the Metallica car, they hit a jar of mustard on their car. If you want to find it, well, pause the screen or pause the stream after the race or during the race and try to find the jar of mustard. It took me less than a minute.
Oh, look in the chat, we have Przemysław Pieniążek, Austin, thanking us for the season. It was fantastic. Love to iGPFun.
My favorite series, Galante.
And of course, you know...
Ooh, big strike on the curve for Gavin Petty. I'm sorry for interrupting you right there, but he hit that curb and got onto 2 wheels, and he's able to keep that speed going on right now because it's a drag race through turns 1.5. Heading into turn 2, is 3 wide of the braking zone right now.
Of course, we want at this point no Polish team today, but now we want Team Poland at the World Cup, and you have 3 months to sort it out. There's plenty of Polish drivers. They can also have like 2 teams, I think, given how many of them there is. And I want you to get Austin as your official commentator for that race. So only Austin can talk about you, etc.
Oh, you don't have to do that. You don't. No, you don't. Please don't.
And
it would be funny, but please don't.
all of a sudden we are basically the final 5 laps of the race, and it's still
Hey, time flies around here. Time flies around here, even with Doc Brown leading this pack.
Oh, okay, absolutely. And Shin and Falcon are still looking good, and now the gap is 3 seconds, 0.8, and here we go. Attacking is Victor Volea on Gavin Petty on the first corner, hard on the brakes. By the way, if you take the MotoGP long lap penalty, you get pinged with a slowdown. Embarrassing. It's like at Sebring when you go to the escape road at the hairpin, and then you get a slowdown.
iRacing still knows how to just twist the dagger in your heart.
You know, I had a race with the Formula V, and I think it was chaos in the first corner. I said, okay, you know what? I'm digging to the escape road, doing the long lap penalty. Haha, you guys crash in turn 1, and then slow down.
I think that's to avoid anyone going wide and getting 20 places from just absolutely calamity and people taking it easy through turn 1. So I totally understand it in lap 1. I don't know about the rest of the race. As this is Zoltan Zomotor looking up the inside for Stuart Millen, the Flaps Ice team. Now we got 2 VRT Flaps teams. We got Ice and Fire, and you can tell the difference by a certain color of the car. Blue, Ice, Orange, Fire.
Yes,
it's not red, but you know, I accept the orange because I like orange more. And we are racing in the Delar F3 cars, not the F3 cars that we use now. Those F3 cars have the halo and you know, spit fire like dragons, and they're awesome. And Sergio Sete Camera getting off into the gravel right now and falling to Connor Wagner, or Wagner now. The fire's been lit under him with that Delta Sport 33 as the American trying to chase down the Brazilian for 5th place.
Scary moment there for Camara, and now Petty once again. I mean, these guys, you know, they don't care. They're not in the fight for the overall win. They are giving us amazing racing side by side once again. And again, Bolea on the inside. Don't pull Albon versus Hamilton, please, guys. They don't, and they make it through barely. It seems like the number 18 car for Exodus Racing is going to keep the position, but back to the fight for 5th place, because Wagner is looking very racing after that little bit of a moment. Probably Sergio Sette Camera has to, you know, I think let his tires breathe for a second.
He had a bad exit at turn 1, got onto that curb. Here comes Connor Wagner up into the inside at turn 2, side by side with a Formula E driver. Can Connor Wagner do it? He absolutely does. Gets the corner and gets the position, but now he has to defend from the Sabia Racing 1. Driver of Sergio Sete Camera, who is on his gearbox, looking onto the outside. He stalled the dummy. He's got the inside now, setting it into turn 3. Connor Wagner, oh no! Sete Camera's had a little bit of a blip mid-corner around. They make contact. They still continue on. Connor Wagner and Sergio Sete Camera making big contact right there. And Flavio Dantes up into 5th place. And what a dummy cell this was from Sergio Camera. There was a little bit of reaction from Connor Wagner right there, but he saw the gap and just a little bit of wiggle on that curb. Might have hit a little bit of a bump right there. And the snap oversteer correction from Sergio Sete Camera, unfortunately, brings contact between him and Connor Wagner. Connor Wagner is still sitting in 6th place, by the way, but that is a lot of damage for Sergio, and I believe he has towed to the pit lane. Very unfortunate. Connor Wagner making his pit stop with just 3 laps to go. Very big and very unfortunate incident for both those drivers, as Gavin Petty's off right now.
He was there fighting that big fight with Bolea and the others. There we go. And the oil spill strikes again. 2 of them, actually. The other was Maxime Paquette, I think. I told you, there is an oil spill in that corner.
I didn't know iRacing could track oil spills right there, but very unfortunate.
No, it's not like an oil spill, car oil spill, like, you know, those big disasters in the ocean, no?
Yes.
The entire section of the track is an oil spill, basically.
That's unfortunate. As Biola and Millen, Stuart Millen looking up the inside, the battle for 10th now between these two. And I feel like that they know that this is the battle for 10th now. It's going to be a little bit tighter between them. And Sabia Racing gets a point deduction penalty. And this is going to really hurt them in the championship standings. And I think the DRS Wave Italy guys are even more happier that this is going their way, as the Exodus Carabiola looking down the inside into the oil spill corner. Both of them going very wide right there. And Biola up into 10th place.
So
you know what it is. It's probably leftover orange smoke after all those flares go off in the F1 race.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, it's like the theory that in Donington the tarmac is slippery because of the aircraft fuel. That gets there. There is no scientific basis, but I like to think that it is true.
Well, that corner is also used in, I think it's used in Formula Drift events when they come here for the pre-race show. So, actually, no, they don't use that layout. Off is Delta Zoe motor. Talca car, curb strike. I think a curb strike on the outside, just too much mustard off the end, and well, he's using all the curbs right there, heading into turn 1. Ooh, that's just too much mustard already. Got onto the curbs, and the curbs just helped him right there. If y'all have your own theory on why turn 5 is slippier than a snake, or just very slick, put them in the chat. We'd love to hear your comments about it. And what you think is causing all the spins over there and just the slick track. Completely factual or completely made up. So go ahead, put all those Forza tiers there too.
White flag is in the air for Kellen Chin and Adrian Falcon, the two DRS Wave Italy teammates. In the meantime, back there still fighting here, Stuart Milne and Victor Volea, and I think that Suelio Almeida is back in the fight. Suelio, of course,
that is very tight.
He really had to fight back after his collision in the first lap, but he's such a fantastic driver. Oh, someone's engine went. I think it was in the pits.
I'm not sure, but I do see the smoke.
I heard a loud bang of an engine going.
Look at the speeds of the drivers. Everyone's keeping their speed right now, so I think that was off in the pits. But white flag is out. Shannon Falcon dominating throughout this race. They're started the race 1-2. They're going to finish the race 1-2. And it is DRS Wave Italy taking first and second place. Felipe Drugovic finishing in third. Fourth place goes to Marco Zipoli at DRS Wave Italy, I believe, are team champions.
We wait for the official confirmation, but it seems like that is going to be the case. Absolute domination from DRS Wave Italy, as we see this fight for 10th place with Volea, Almeida and Milne, with Suelio will complete his comeback either -2, -3 or -1, but still, what would have been for him and his team? Sabia Racing #1.
That is close. That was a curb strike on the inside and heading into the final corner. Could be a drag race right here, but not going to be close enough for Sergio Sette Camera. He's going to... No, not Sergio Sette Camera. Same team, but it's Suelio Amila for 11th place and Biola finishing in 10th.
Something happened to Gavin Petty in the final lap. Eventful race for the PDR UK driver, and apparently if you brake too much on the left there, it's not a good idea, even though there is no grass. It's just extra differently colored tarmac, but the curb, and you can see Gavin Petty went a bit wide there. And who are we waiting for? No one. Of course.
We are not waiting for anyone. But the full standings are going to be in the Formula 3 forums, in the iRacing new forums, I believe. That is forums.iRacing. And I gotta say, I'm loving the new way it's all laid out, and I think we're getting a little parade lap from our DRS Wave Italy drivers as Marco has the full-on results.
Oh yes, unofficially the DRS Wave Italy team are the champions of the 2021 F3 Team Cup thanks to Calencin and Adrian Falcon scoring a very important 1-2 finish that effectively seals the deal, barring any late decision and penalties. But of course we'll have to wait for the official decisions, but I'm pretty confident that their races have been squeaky clean. Felipe Drugovic finishes in third for Sabia Racing number 1. Sabia Racing number 1 had a lot of drivers together with team number 2 in the top 10, but they couldn't mount a challenge, unfortunately. So Zipol is in fourth, the insurance policy for DRS with Italy, and then the Sabia Racing 2 teammates of Fabio Dantas and Rafael Camara. Then in seventh is Marc-Antoine Thibault for Advanced Sim Racing Esports, and then Sabia Racing number 2, Lucas Staiko. Then it's Ivan Ziranau in 9th, and 10th was the very exciting Victor Voleo. Some of these drivers, I absolutely want to see more of them in the upcoming iGPFun season that's starting next week. So, Victor is certainly one of them. Stuart Milne in 12th, behind Suelio Almeida. Maxime Paquette in front of Zoltan Zomotor, running a one-off for Scuderia Metallica, or maybe he's changed team for next season, we'll see. Advanced Sim Racing Esports again with Alex Fournier and Adam Talsma. A lot of Canadian flags, love it. Gavin Petty and Dave Martin in 17th and 18th, respectively. 19th was Robert Ridgway for Formula Forza and their lovely liveries, and Martin Devine finishes in 20th for Flaps Fire. Jacob Pedersen in 21st in front of Massimo Locatello and Patrick Rowlands, Andy Fleet, Clark Williams, Will McIntyre, Jay Bast, Connor Wagner in P28. 29th was Sergio Sette Camera, another exciting race together with Markel Viota, both of them running into troubles late in the day. Samuel Ermer also had a very chaotic race. Phil Lucas, Carlos Torre for Exodus, Flaps Ice own Alex Hopkins, and George Wiseman rounds up your field, and of course Luca Varani was directing the... We were having donuts and I lost them. I missed them, I'm sorry. I thought they were towing back to the pits. As I say, Luca Varani was doing the stewarding tonight. Austin, I have to say, really, really nice event. I had so much fun covering it. And as always, it's a absolutely fantastic break in between the iGPFun seasons. So we just went... we just finished the iGPFun Season 2 season, and this works as both of a break, philosophical end of the season, and also opening unofficially the season that is going to start next week. Now, iRacing has been very late with their calendar. I don't think it's still been officially published yet. Of course, if you go into the individual forums, you will find which track is being raced when. So I don't know where we are racing next week, but one thing is for sure.
I have a feeling it might be Red Bull week 1, but I'm not sure. I know in the Formula 3.5, Red Bull Ring was posted as week 3, so I'm not sure who's going there first. I know the Skippies are probably going here or Chicago week 1. So there are a few series going here immediately. It's a new track. It's very shiny. It's very new. But Formula 3, I know they get a lot of votes for which track should be the next. So it's going to be very interesting to see when the official races come here for the iGPFun folks, because we've seen that grid just absolutely packed out. It will probably be the first full
Watkins
grid
Glen,
here.
says
It is Watkins Glen. Red Bull's week 11. Ooh.
By the way,
did
you read that he was bamboozling us because he was using SDK Gaming as well to count the incident points?
Oh, come on, Luca. We were explaining it and everything, that Luca's got it all. Ours are incorrect, and Luca reveals to us that also mine are incorrect too. Thanks, Luca.
Yeah, you know what he said, no? He just said, it was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Thanks, Luca.
So, I mean, it has been a fantastic night of racing here on Apex Racing TV. We had the SRF Weekend Warriors Week 13 Big Grid, of course the iGPFun Big Grid event, round 1 of the Apex Racing League GT Championship, which I'm absolutely going back and watching it. Sponsored by Wave Italy, by the way, so that's a nice segue into this race that we had right here. And that is, of course, one of the new broadcasts where we have the double broadcaster feature, and the team behind the scenes at Apex Racing League has worked fantastically. The graphic department especially, into creating an awesome graphics package for that league. Okay, now look, using the excuse of I was checking if you guys were paying attention. But basically this means that week 13 is basically over, Austin, and we are getting ready to begin a new iRacing season. Of course, this means that some series will start from scratch here on Apex Racing TV. Other series will instead continue. For example, the Apex Racing League Mazda Cup will continue. Round 3 of the season is tomorrow night at 19 GMT on Apex Racing TV. Then late at night, we are going to have at midnight GMT of the next day, so a few hours later after the Mazda, Rickmotech Sports Car Series back from Road Atlanta. By the way, the Mazdas are going to be from Summit Point. And then Tuesday night at 7 GMT, Watkins Glen round 4 of the Apex Racing League GT Trophy. And then later that day, night, at 1 AM GMT, Ray Esports Racing League from the Glen as well. And then Wednesday night is the Porsche Cup from To Be Determined. We will let you know as soon as possible. It's a new track. Maybe centripetal, who knows, at 7 GMT. And then Friday, of course, Watkins Glen at 7 PM for the Wave Italy Prototype Championship from Apex Racing League. And then, of course, Saturday as well, VRS Super Series for F3 from Phillip Island. And Sunday we will be back with the iGPFun and all the other broadcasts who are still not scheduled, but they will be on the Apex Racing TV YouTube page very soon as the details are finalized. So, Austin, time to bring it home, I think.
Yeah, it is. This 2021 Formula 3 Team Cup presented by iGPFun and Virtual Racing School here at RedBull Ring is officially over. DRS Wave Italy are your Les Champions after a dominating performance here today. Thank you all for joining in here today. I am losing speaking words because, man, it's been a long day. But yeah, amazing race here today. Thank you everybody for joining in. I've been joined by Marco Barbanera. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.